Hello and welcome to Something Wicked Entertainment's Bela Lugosi Tribute Weekend. My name is Kevin L. Powers, and I'll be your host for this weekend and for all the screenings that you'll be watching, especially this one. This is part of our program to help promote and keep the legacies alive of certain filmmakers, actors, directors, writers, what have you, who's made films back in the day, but may have been forgotten over time. Bela Lugosi, who made a lot of films in his time, may be one of those. Most familiar to a lot of people through Tim Burton's film Ed Wood, but he did a lot of films other than being the star of Ed Wood films on before he passed away. So we like to think that this weekend will allow people to see and view some of Bela Lugosi's films that they may have never seen before or heard of. Which is our next film, NINOTCHKA. I've only ever seen once. I saw it once and that was about it. So rewatching it with you all will allow me to see it again as if I had never seen it before. And that's one of the great things about our tribute weekend. We at Something Wicked Entertainment get to experience these films sometimes for the first time, and other times we've seen many of the films before. One of the films we're not screening, starring Bela Lugosi, and which he is most famous for, is Universal Pictures' Dracula. Because so many people have actually seen that film, we are not screening that. All the films we are screening this weekend are already readily available on YouTube. So you can watch the films without my commentary. And for those who have never been to one of our tribute weekends, I don't like to try and comment during the entire film, but give you kind of an intro and an extra, and then every once in a while step in to give my little tidbits. I would rather you enjoy the film like I am. So I don't jump in and out of the film as much as some of the other programs that we do. We would rather you enjoy watching the film. Bela Lugosi, for me, is not one of my favorite actors, surprisingly, but he is one of my wife's favorite classically trained actors. I enjoy a lot of films with Bela Lugosi, especially some of the ones that he starred in with other famous actors of the time, such as Boris Karloff, Vincent Price. There's a plethora of them, Lionel Atwood. There's tons of movies Bela Lugosi has starred in with. He has been around he was around for a very long time and had a very lucrative career. So the few that I think 10 movies we're screening this weekend is a small sampling of the films that he starred in. And if you enjoy any of the films that you see this weekend, please go out there and search out many of his other films, because Bela Lugosi had a profound effect on the film industry back then, and horror industry especially. But a lot of his films also feature comedy, and a lot of them are, different genres that he tried to step away from the horror genre for which he was pigeonholed, unfortunately. Hence why he ended up starring in some of Ed Wood Jr.'s films. So by all means, we hope we've given a great sampling of films of Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi for this weekend. So if I somehow get the actors mixed up, it's because we just did a Boris Karloff tribute weekend last year, and now I'm getting them all confused. So I must apologize if I say that instead of Bela Lugosi. I always mean Bela Lugosi. That would be a disservice for Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi if I keep calling them by the wrong names, even though they starred in several films together. So I will apologize for that now, and hope that you still enjoy the film starring Bela Lugosi. This is just one of them. He's not the main star of this one. But nevertheless, Bela Lugosi always gave 110% for his films, and therefore that is the reason why we are screening it, because there are so many people who have not seen this film. So we hope you sit back, relax, grab your popcorn and your drinks, and enjoy NINOTCHKA starring Bela Lugosi.
Is there anything I can do for you, monsieur?
No. No.
Yes, monsieur?
Just looking around.
Comrades, why should we lie to each other? It's wonderful.
Let's be honest. Have we anything like it in Russia?
No.
Can you imagine what the beds would be in a hotel like that?
They tell me when you ring once, the valet comes in. When you ring twice, you get a waiter. And do you know what happens when you ring 3 times? A maid comes in. A French maid.
Comrades, if we ring 9 times, let's go in.
Just a minute. I have nothing against the idea, but I still say, let's go back to the hotel terminals. Moscow made our reservation there. We are on an official mission, and we have no right to change the orders of our superiors.
Where's your courage, Comrade Polyanov?
Are you the Polyanov who fought on the barricades? And now you are afraid to take a room with a bed?
I don't want to go to Siberia.
And I don't want to go to the hotel terminals.
And I don't want to go to...
I told you so many...
No.
Look, Polyanov. If Lenin were alive, he would say, Polyanov, comrade, for once in your life you were in Paris. Don't be a fool. Go in there and drink 3 times.
He wouldn't say that. What he would say is, Polyanov, you can't afford to live in a cheap hotel. Does the prestige of the Bolsheviks mean anything to you? Do you want to live in a hotel where you press for the hot water and cold water comes? And when you press for the cold water, nothing comes at all. Pfui, Polyanov.
I still say our place is for the common people. But who am I to contradict Lenin? Let's go in.
Are you the manager?
Yes, monsieur.
Pardon me for introducing Comrade Ironov, member of the Russian Board of Trade.
Monsieur.
This is Comrade Topalsky.
Monsieur.
And I'm Comrade Polyanov.
Monsieur.
May I ask you how much your rooms are?
Well, gentlemen, I'm afraid our rates are rather high.
Why should you be afraid?
Well, I might be able to accommodate you. Is there some more luggage?
Oh, yes. But have you a safe big enough to hold this?
I'm afraid we have no boxes of that size in the vault, but there's a suite with a private safe.
That's even better.
But, gentlemen, I'm afraid...
He's always afraid.
I just wanted to explain. The apartment may suit your convenience, but I doubt whether it'll fit your convictions. It's the Royal Suite.
Royal Suite?
Oh.
Just a minute. Comrades, I warn you. If it gets out in Moscow that we stay in the Royal Suite, we'll get into terrible trouble.
We just tell him we had to do it on account of the safe. That's a perfect excuse. There was no other safe big enough.
That's right.
That's fine.
Yes,
But of course, we could take out the pieces and distribute them in 3 or 4 boxes in the vault and take a small room. That's an idea, isn't it?
Yes, that's an idea. But who said we have to have an idea?
That's right. That's very good. Very good. Give us a Royal Suite.
Step this way, please.
Hello? Please connect me with Mercier. Yes, the jeweler. Hello? No, I want to speak to Monsieur Mercier personally. Yes. Hello, Monsieur Mercier. This is Ironov, member of the Russian Board of Trade. Yes, we arrived this morning. Oh, thank you very, very much. Yes, we have everything here. The necklace, too. All 14 pieces. What? No, Monsieur Mercier. The core jewels of the Grand Duchess Swana consisted of 14 pieces. Why don't you check on that? Of course, we have all the necessary credentials.
Will you take care of the royal suite? I'll be back in 10 minutes.
All right, Rakone.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Et through the salon.
Yeah, monsieur.
Hello, Leon.
Morning, Swan, darling.
Oh, it's really a wretched morning. Wretched. I can't get myself right. I wanted to look mellow and I look brittle. My face doesn't compose well. It's all highlights. How can I dim myself down, Leon? Suggest something. Oh, I'm so bored with this face. Wish I had someone else's face. Whose face would you have if you had your choice? Oh, well, I guess one gets the face one deserves.
There's one marvelous advantage to your conversation, Swanner. However many questions you ask, you never expect an answer.
Don't you find that restful? Good morning, darling.
Morning.
Why didn't you come last night?
Darling, I was looking after your interests.
Oh, did you win?
We can forget horse racing, roulette, everything. Our worries are over. You remember the platinum watch with the diamond numbers? You'll be in a position to give it to me now.
Oh, darling, you're so good to me.
We can be rich if you say the word. I had dinner with the Guizos last night.
Oh, those awful newspaper people.
You'd be surprised how many nice people dined with the Guizos.
What a gruesome proof of the power of the press.
Now, listen, Swan. I sold Monsieur Guizot the idea of publishing your memoirs in the Gazette Parisienne.
What?
The life and loves of the Grand Duchess Swanna of Russia.
Oh, Leon.
But, darling, we won't have to worry about our future if you're willing to raffle off your past.
Come in. Count Raconin asks the privilege of a few words, Your Highness.
Raconin?
Yes, he's a waiter at the Clarence, poor devil. You know him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Tell him I'm sorry. I won't be able to see him for half an hour.
The Count says if it could be as soon as possible. It's luncheon time, and he's just between courses.
All right. I'll see him right away. But I can't get myself right today. It's
Darling, Count Raconin's between courses.
Oh, yes. My little Volga boatman. How do you do, my friend?
Your Highness.
Won't you sit down?
Your Highness, forgive this intrusion,
What's the matter, Raconin? Have you lost your job?
No, madame, something of the utmost importance. It concerns your jewels.
My jewels?
I remember one birthday of His Majesty, our beloved Tsar. I had the honor of being on guard at his summer palace. I still see you bending before His Majesty. You wore your diadem and a necklace.
But why do you bring this up after all these years?
They are here. Your jewels here in Paris.
Alexis, do you know what you're saying?
This morning, 3 Soviet agents arrived. I overheard a telephone conversation with Mercier, the jeweler. Your Highness, they're going to sell them.
Did I hear something about jewels?
Raconin, bless him, has just given me the most amazing news. You know Count Dalgu. I must call my lawyer at once.
I'm sorry, Your Highness, I have to leave.
Oh, thank you, my dear friend. I'll get in touch with you.
Au revoir.
Hello, Balzac 2769.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Au revoir.
This is the Grand Duchess Swanna. I want to speak to Monsieur Cornillon. It's very important. Please get him right away. Hello, Monsieur Cornillon. The most incredible thing has happened. My jewels are here in Paris. 3 Bolshevik swine are trying to sell them. Yes. Yes. Now we must act immediately. Call the police. Have them arrested. Oh, no, get an injunction. But do something, Monsieur Cornillon. But they are my jewels. There must be some way of getting them back.
What does he say?
But how can it be a question? Are you my lawyer or theirs? Oh. It's all right. Yes, all right. I'll call you later.
What did he say?
Oh, it looks pretty hopeless. There may be a chance, that's all. The French government has recognized Soviet Russia, and he doubts if they will risk a war for my poor sake. He might be able to make up some kind of a case, but it would cost money. Money. That's all they're interested in, those lawyers.
Darling, calm down. Why do you need a lawyer? Haven't you your little Volga boatman?
Very good. Excellent. Superb. It'd be foolish to belittle the quality of the merchandise, but your terms are impossible. My counteroffer is the absolute maximum.
But, Monsieur Mercier...
Now, gentlemen, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We're undertaking this deal only because of the prestige involved. And, frankly, we're expected to take a loss.
Capitalistic methods. They accumulate millions by taking loss after loss. This is Bulyanov, Aronov, and Kopalski. Who? Count Dalgu? No, that must be a mistake. No, we can't be disturbed.
I can assure you that no one else can meet the figure named by my syndicate, at least not under the present economic conditions.
We can wait.
Do we give the impression of people who are pressed for money?
Yes. Calm, gentlemen. Let's put our cards on the table. Right now, there's a Russian commission in New York trying to sell 15 Rembrandts. There's another in London, mortgaging the oil fields in Baku. You need money, and you need it quickly. Now, I think my offer is a very fair one and doesn't even take advantage of your situation.
Just a minute.
Now listen, we have just a minute. The pieces are all registered.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much.
He's cutting our throat.
What can we do? We have to accept.
Comrades, don't let's give in so quickly. After all, we have to uphold the prestige of Russia.
All right, let's uphold it for another 10 minutes.
Yes. We don't want to be disturbed.
My name is Dalgou. I telephone.
If you want to see us, you must come in later.
I just want a word with Monsieur Mercier.
You can't come in here.
Monsieur Mercier, may I introduce myself? I'm Leon Dalgou. I think I had the pleasure of meeting you in your beautiful shop. I was admiring the platinum watch with the diamond numbers.
Yes, of course.
You remember Oh, glorious, aren't they?
No, monsieur, you
I
have no
did
right.
not permit you to come
Just
in
a
here.
moment. I hope you haven't closed this deal, Monsieur Mercier. It might bring you into serious
Who
trouble.
are you and what do you
is
want?
it?
Those jewels are the property of the Grand Duchess Swana and were seized illegally by the Soviet government. I am acting for Her Highness. Here is my power of attorney.
You know, Monsieur Mercier, this is all nonsense.
These may have been the jewels of the Grand Duchess Swana, but like all private property, they were confiscated by the state.
We'll leave the problem of their ownership to the French courts. In the meanwhile, gentlemen, I filed a petition for an injunction to prohibit you from either selling or removing the jewels. Here is a copy. If there's anything in the petition which isn't clear, gentlemen, I should be glad to explain it.
Thank you. Well, gentlemen, this introduces a new element into our negotiations. Until this claim is completely settled.
We can call our ambassador.
I give you my word, they were confiscated legally.
That's right.
No, gentlemen. Please try to understand my position. I'm not withdrawing. My offer stands. And when you can produce a clear title approved by the French courts, we can close the deal. Until then, gentlemen, good day.
I thought it my duty to warn you. I should hate to see you get into trouble, monsieur.
Thank you.
I hope you will forgive me.
On the contrary, I consider myself very lucky. Good day.
Good day, monsieur.
You believe me, I do. Well, he can't.
Well, gentlemen, how about a little lunch?
Will you get out of here?
Get out.
Well, don't look so gloomy, gentlemen. You may have a chance.
We may have a chance.
Yes, a very slim one. I want to be fair. I don't deny that you might make out some kind of a case.
We haven't anything to discuss with you. No. We'll talk to a lawyer.
Yes.
All right, you talk to a lawyer and I'll talk to a judge.
That won't help you. You can't intimidate us.
Soviet Russia will put all its might behind this case.
Yes, you think because you represent the former Grand Duchess?
The Grand
The
Duchess.
former Grand Duchess.
At any rate, gentlemen, a charming, exquisite woman. I warn you, gentlemen, if this case comes to trial, it'll be before a French court. And when the Grand Duchess takes the stand...
All right, go ahead. Get on the witness stand. What can she say?
But how will she look? The fashions this spring are very becoming to her. But, gentlemen, the judge will be French. The jury will be French. Everybody in the courtroom will be French. Have you ever seen a French court when a beautiful woman sits on the witness stand and raises her skirt a little? You sit down and pull up your pants and where would get you?
I suppose you expect us to hand over the jewels, huh?
Oh, no, I'm not a highwayman. Just a nuisance. All I want to do is to make things as difficult as possible.
Not that we are giving in 1 inch, but tell us what is in your mind.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, what about my proposition?
What proposition?
I just said, let's have some lunch. Hey, Sasha, Sergei, Misha.
Oh, Leon, what do you want?
What can we do for you?
Just about that telegram to Moscow. Why should you bother about it? I've written it for you.
Oh, Leonechka, why are you so good to us?
Why are you so good?
That's very nice, boys. Now, wait a minute, boys, wait a minute. What was the name of that commissar of the Board of Trade? Razinin. Commissar Razinin, Board of Trade, Moscow.
You wouldn't like Razini.
No, he's a bad man. He sends people to Siberia.
We don't like Razin.
No,
we don't like.
We like Leon. Don't we like Leon?
NINOTCHKA, little Leon.
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. How's this? Commissar Azinin, Board of Trade, Moscow. Unexpected situation here. Grand Duchess Swana in Paris claims jewels and has already brought injunction against sale or removal. After long and serious study, we suggest, in the interest of our beloved country, a 50-50 settlement is best solution. Ironov, Bulyonov, and Kopalsky.
If we say that Leon will be sent to Siberia.
And if we have to go to Siberia...
I'll send you a muff.
Leon, why are you so good to us?
NINOTCHKA,
Comrade waiter!
NINOTCHKA, dear waiter.
Why are you so good to us?
Why are you so good?
It's enough. Take this to the telegraph office at once.
Yes, monsieur.
Hello. Yes, Leon. What is it, Leon? Oh, you can't hurry such things. You must give Moscow a little time. There's nothing we can do about it. Why don't you drop in later? Yes. Au revoir. What's the matter?
A telegram from Moscow. It must have been here all day.
Halt negotiations immediately. Envoy extraordinary arrives Thursday, 5:20 p.m. with full power. Your authority cancelled here with Razinin. It is Thursday.
It's 5 o'clock already.
I always said it would be Siberia.
Give me the desk, please. This is the Royal Suite, Ironov speaking. Listen, a special envoy is coming from Moscow today. He'll occupy the Royal Suite. Move our things to the smallest room you've got. Yes, right away, instantly.
Fast, please.
Oh, this is a fine thing. Maybe we've missed him already.
How can we find somebody without knowing what he looks like?
That must be the one.
Yes, he looks like a comrade. Yes.
Hitler.
No, that's not him.
Positively not.
What are we going to do now?
I don't know.
This is... We must have missed him. Be the one who sent on.
I'm looking for Michael Simonovich Ironov.
I am Michael Simonovich Ironov.
I'm Nina Ivanovna Yakushova, envoy extraordinary, acting on the direct orders of Comrade Commissar Rasinin. Joseph, with your colleagues.
Comrade Bulyonov.
Comrade.
Comrade Kopalsky.
Comrade.
What a charming idea for Moscow to surprise us with a lady, comrade.
If we had known, we would have greeted you with flowers.
Don't make an issue of my womanhood. We're here for work, all of us. Let's not waste any time. Shall we go?
Porter.
Here, please.
What do you want?
May I have your bags, madame?
Why?
He's a porter. He wants to carry them.
Why? Why should you carry other people's bags?
Well, that's my business, madame.
That's no business. That's social injustice.
That depends on the tip.
Allow me, comrade.
No, no, thank you. Ticket, please.
Ticket, please. Ticket.
How are things in Moscow?
Very good. The last mass trials were a great success. There are going to be fewer but better Russians. What's that?
It's a hat, comrade. A woman's hat.
How can such a civilization survive which permits their women to put things like that on their heads? Won't be long now, comrades.
This is the apartment we have reserved for you, Comrade Yakushova. I hope you like it.
Which part of the room is mine?
You see, comrade, it's a little different here. They don't rent rooms in pieces. We had to take the whole suite.
How much does this cost?
2,000 francs.
A week?
A day.
Do you know how much a cow costs, Comrade Ironov?
A cow?
2,000 francs. If I stay here a week, I will cost the Russian people 7 cows. Who am I to cost the Russian people 7 cows?
We had to take it on account of the safe.
For ourselves, we are much happier now since we moved to a little room right next to the servants' quarters.
I'm ashamed to put the picture of Lenin in a room like this.
You want to be alone, comrade?
No. Comrades, your telegram was received with great disfavor in Moscow.
We did our best, comrade.
I hope so, for your sake. Let's examine the case. What does the lawyer say?
Which lawyer?
You didn't get legal advice.
We dealt directly with the representative of the Grand Duchess. I am sure if we call him, he will give you a very clear picture.
I will not repeat your mistake. I will have no dealings with the Grand Duchess nor her representative. Comrade Bulyanov.
Yes, comrade.
Do you spell Bulyanov with 1 or 2 F's?
With 2 F's, if you please.
Have you some cigarettes?
This is the royal suite. Please send up some cigarettes. Yes. You just telephone and you get what you want. That's the capitalistic system.
Comrades, I'm not in a position to pass final judgment, but at best you've been careless in your duty to the state. You were entrusted with more than a mere sale of jewelry. Why are we peddling our precious possessions to the world at this time? Our next year's crop is in danger and you know it. Unless we can get foreign currency to buy tractors, there'll not be enough bread for our people and you, comrades.
We did it with the best intentions.
We can't feed the Russian people on your intentions. 50% to a so-called Grand Duchess. Half of every loaf of bread to our enemy. Comrade Kowalski.
Yes, comrade.
Go at once to our embassy and get me the address of the best lawyer in Paris.
Yes, comrade.
And you, Comrade Ivanov, go to the public library and get me the section of the Civil Code on property.
Is there anything I can do, comrade?
Yes. You might get me an accurate map of Paris. I want to use my spare time to inspect public utilities and to make a study of all outstanding technical achievements in the city.
Yes, comrade.
Come in.
Hello, cigarettes. Hello.
Comrades, you must have been smoking a lot.
Desk? Yes, Monsieur Kopolsky. You're expecting Count Dalgou, But he's not to go to the Royal Suite under any circumstances. You should go to your new room 985. Thank you, monsieur.
You, please.
Me?
Could you give me some information?
Well, gladly.
How long must we wait here?
Well, until the policeman blows his whistle again.
At what intervals does he whistle?
What?
How many minutes between the first and second whistle?
You know, that's very funny. I never thought of that before.
You've never been caught in a similar situation?
Yes, I have. Now that I come to think about it, it's staggering. Good heavens, if I add it all up, I must have spent years waiting for signals. Imagine, an important part of my life wasted between whistles.
In other words, you don't know?
No.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Can I be of any assistance to you?
You might hold this for me.
I'd love to.
Correct me if I'm wrong. We are facing north, aren't we?
Facing north? Well, now, I'd hate to commit myself without my compass. Pardon me, are you an explorer?
No, I'm looking for the Eiffel Tower.
Good heavens, is that thing lost again? Oh, are you interested in a view?
I'm interested in the Eiffel Tower from a technical standpoint.
Technical? No, I'm afraid I couldn't be of much help from that angle. You see, a Parisian only goes to the tower in moments of despair to jump off.
How long does it take a man to land?
Now, isn't that too bad? The last time I jumped, I forgot to time it. Let me see now. The Eiffel Tower. Your finger, please.
Why do you need my finger?
It's bad manners to point with your own. There. The Eiffel Tower.
And where are we?
Where are we? Now, let me see. Where are we? Ah, here we are. There you are, and here am I. Feel it?
I'm interested only in the shortest distance between these 2 points. Must you flirt?
Well, I don't have to, but I find it natural.
Suppress it.
I'll try.
For my own information, would you call your approach toward me typical of the local morale?
Mademoiselle, it is that approach which has made Paris what it is.
You're very sure of yourself, aren't you?
Well, nothing's happened recently to shake my self-confidence.
I have heard of the arrogant male in capitalistic society. It is having a superior earning power that makes you that way.
A Russian. I love Russians. Comrade, I've been fascinated by your 5-year plan for the last 15 years.
Your type will soon be extinct.
Taxi!
Can you tell me the exact width of the foundation of which these piers are resting and the depth?
You don't have to worry. The thing is safe.
I'm not afraid. I
The
just
foundation is 141 yards square. I hope you'll forgive me, but I thought you...
Go on.
4 massive pieces of masonry are sunk to a depth of 46 feet on the side of the Seine and 29.5 feet on the other side. The girders of interlaced ironwork which stay the structure have an inclination of 54 degrees.
That's a strange angle.
Yes, that's very strange. Ascending to the first platform is a staircase consisting of 829 steps. And an additional 254 steps to the very top. There's an elevator included in the price of admission. It'll take you hours to walk up there. The elevator will get you up in 3 minutes.
You gave me some very valuable information. Thank you.
Thank you for getting me up here. I've never seen this before. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
I'm glad I saw it before becoming extinct.
Now, don't misunderstand me. I do not hold your frivolity against you. As basic material, you may not be bad, but you are the unfortunate product of a doomed culture. I feel very sorry for you.
Ah, but you must admit that this doomed old civilization sparkles. Look at it. It glitters.
I do not deny its beauty, but it's a waste of electricity.
What a city. There are the Grand Boulevards, blasted out of the heart of the old city. The Arc de Triomphe, built to greet Napoleon's army. The Opera, Montparnasse, Montmartre. And now, I'll show you the greatest attraction of all. It'll cost me a franc, but it's worth it. The most unique spot in all Paris. Really, I'm not exaggerating. It's wonderful. It's charming. It's... Ah, please. What do you see?
I see a house. Looks like any other house. What's remarkable about it?
Well, it's not the structure. It's the spirit that dwells within it. It has 3 rooms and a kitchenette dedicated to hospitality.
So it's your house?
Well, let's say I live in it. It's such a pleasant little place. It has all the comforts. Easy to reach near the subway, bus, and streetcar.
Does it mean you want me to go there?
Oh, now, please don't misunderstand me.
Then you don't want me to go there?
No, I didn't say that either. Naturally, nothing would please me more.
Then why don't we go? You might be an interesting subject of study.
I'll do my best. Good evening, Gaston.
Good evening, monsieur.
Is this what you call the butler?
Yes.
Good evening, comrade. This man is very old. You shouldn't make him work.
He takes good care of that.
He looks sad. Do you whip him?
No, but the mere thought makes my mouth water.
The day will come when you'll be free. Go to bed, little father. We want to be alone.
Please.
Come down, girl. There have been several telephone calls.
Go to bed, little father. Now, may I offer you a drink?
Thank you, I'm not thirsty.
Perhaps something to eat.
I've had all the calories necessary for today.
Oh, yes, all the calories.
What do we do now?
Shall we have some music?
Is that customary?
It helps. It has ever since King David wooed Bathsheba with his harp. Not being so fortunate as to have my harp at hand, I'll turn on the radio. If there's anything you'd like to study, please go ahead. I've nothing to conceal. This is my desk, these are my books, and here am I. Where shall we begin?
I will start with you.
Excellent. Now, let's see. I'm 35 years old, just over 6 feet tall, and weigh 182 pounds stripped.
What is your profession?
My profession? Keeping my body fit, keeping my mind alert, and keeping the landlord appeased. That's a full-time job.
And what do you do for mankind?
For mankind? Yes, not so much for mankind. But for womankind, my record isn't quite so bleak.
You are something we do not have in Russia.
Thank you.
That's why I believe in the future of my country.
Yeah. I'm beginning to believe in it myself since I met you. I still don't quite know what it's all about. Confuses me. Frightens me. But it fascinates me. NINOTCHKA, you like me just a little bit?
Your general appearance is not distasteful.
Thank you.
The whites of your eyes are clear. Your cornea is excellent.
Your cornea is terrific. NINOTCHKA, tell me, you're so expert on things. Can it be that I'm falling in love with you?
Why must you bring in wrong values? Love is a romantic designation for a most ordinary biological, or shall we say chemical process. A lot of nonsense is talked and written about it.
Oh, I see. What do you use instead?
I acknowledge the existence of a natural impulse common to all.
What can I possibly do to encourage such an impulse in you?
You don't have to do a thing. Chemically, we're already quite sympathetic.
You're the most incredible creature I've ever met. NINOTCHKA. NINOTCHKA.
You repeat yourself.
Yes, I'd like to say it 1,000 times. You must forgive me if I seem a little old-fashioned, but after all, I'm just a poor bourgeois.
It's never too late to change. I used to belong to the petty bourgeoisie myself.
No.
My father and mother wanted me to stay and work on the farm, but I prefer the bayonet.
The bayonet? Did you really?
I was wounded before Warsaw.
Wounded? How?
I was a sergeant in the 3rd Cavalry Brigade. Would you like to see my wound?
I'd love to.
A Polish lancer. I was 16.
Poor NINOTCHKA, poor NINOTCHKA.
Don't pity me. Pity the Polish lancer. After all, I'm still alive.
What kind of a girl are you, anyway?
Just what you see. A tiny cog in the great wheel of evolution.
You're the most adorable cog I've ever seen. NINOTCHKA, let me confess something. Never did I dream I could feel like this toward a sergeant. Did you hear that?
It's 12 o'clock.
It's midnight. Look at the clock. One hand has met the other hand. They kiss. Isn't that wonderful?
That's the way a clock works. What's wonderful about it?
But NINOTCHKA, it's midnight. One half of Paris is making love to the other half.
You merely feel you must put yourself in a romantic mood to add to your exhilaration.
But I can't possibly think of any better reason.
That's false sentimentality.
Oh, you analyze everything out of existence. You'd analyze me out of existence, but I won't let you. Love isn't so simple, NINOTCHKA. NINOTCHKA, why do doves bill and coo? Why do snails, the coldest of all creatures, circle interminably around each other? Why do moths fly hundreds of miles to find their mates? Why do flowers slowly open their petals? Oh, Ninotchka, Ninotchka, surely you feel some slight symptom of the divine passion. A general warmth in the palms of your hands. A strange heaviness in your limbs. A burning of the lips that isn't thirst, but something 1,000 times more tantalizing, more exalting than thirst.
You're very talkative.
Was that talkative?
No, that was restful. Again. Thank you.
Oh, my barbaric Ninotchka. My impossible, unromantic, statistical Again.
The telephone is ringing.
Let it ring.
One of your friends may be in need of you. You must answer.
Oh. Hello. Yes? What? Oh, yes. Well, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. No, I ran into an old friend from the Army. What? The whole deal's off. Are you crazy, Bulyanov? Oh, a special envoy arrived. Hmm? I'll be glad to see her whenever she wants to. She doesn't want to see me. Oh, what do you know about that? Why? Uh-huh. Well, I'll get in touch with her myself. What's her name? Huh? Yaku. Good heavens, these Russian names. How do you spell it? Oh, why? Y-A... Yakushova. Thanks. Yakushova Ninotchka. Yes, all right, thank you. Ninotchka.
I must go.
Or shall I say special envoy Yakushova?
Let's forget we ever met.
No. I have a much better suggestion. Let's forget the telephone ever rang. I never heard that you're Yakushova. You're Ninotchka. My Ninotchka.
I was sent here by my country to fight you.
All right, fight me. Fight me as much as you want. Only fight me tomorrow morning. There's nothing sweeter than sharing a secret with an enemy.
You represent White Russia and I represent Red Russia.
No. Tonight, let's not represent anybody but ourselves.
It's out of the question. If you wish to approach me...
You know I want to.
Then do it through my lawyer.
But, Ninotchka, you can't walk out like this. I'm crazy about you. I thought I'd made an impression on you. You like the white of my eye.
I must go.
But, Ninotchka, I held you in my arms. You kissed me.
I kissed a Polish lancer, too. Before he died.
Yes, Marian, darling. No, you didn't waken me. I'm not only up, I'm on my way out. Yes, I want to catch Leon before he rushes out and loses himself in my business affairs. Oh, everything was going perfectly until 3 days ago when some horrid female envoy arrived from Moscow. Now we don't know where we are. Yes, well, I'll telephone you tonight, darling. Goodbye, dear.
I seem to remember some additional injunctive provision dealing with the property of foreigners residing in France.
You are referring to paragraph 59B, section 25F of the Civil Code. Page 824. And do not fail to read 3 footnotes. While you're studying it, I will eat.
Where to, madame?
Can you recommend a restaurant?
Well, there's Grenier, if you care for seafood.
Where do you eat?
At Père Mathieu.
Where's that?
Well, it's just a place for workmen.
Where is it?
Down 8 blocks, Rue de Poivel.
Thank you.
Are you alone, madame? A nice little corner table. Or perhaps by the window would be better. This way, madame. I think this is the first time you've been in my little place. Your face is new to me. Now, what shall it be?
Raw beets and carrots.
Madame, this is a restaurant, not a meadow. Now, here's what we are offering today. Please make your choice. I'm sure you will find something to tempt your appetite.
Well, for goodness sake, hello. Well, it certainly is a small world, isn't it?
Well, madame, shall we start with soup? Fish soup today. I get up at 5 to fish them from the Seine.
Ah, crawfish soup for me.
Very well, monsieur. Then may I suggest an omelette with mushrooms?
Bring me something simple. I never think about food.
Madame, if you don't think about food, what do you think about?
The future of the common people.
That's also a question of food. I will bring you a nice little lunch à la Père Mathieu.
May I say something? You insulted him, you know that? You hurt his feelings. It was just like telling a musician that you don't like music. Well, that good old man believes in food just as you believe in Karl Marx. You can't go around hurting people like that, Comrade Yakashova. But you can make it up to him, you know how? By eating everything that he brings you with relish. By drinking everything with gusto. By having a good time for the first time in your natural life.
I don't like you following me.
I didn't follow you.
How did you get here?
I always eat here.
This is a place for working men.
But, my dear child, I'm most at home among working men. I hate those places where you circulate, the Clarence Hotel and those places. This is my natural element. After all, what are any of us? Working men. At least those of us who are worth our salt. Hiya. Hi. Hiya. Hi. Hiya. Hiya, boys. Hi. How's everything today? Is the lunch all right? Glad to see you again. Thank you. Well, great bunch of fellas. Ah, my friend, I'm happy to see you again.
I'm always glad to meet a new customer. And I hope this first visit will not be your last one.
He's just an old man. His memory's weak.
What are you after?
Must one always be after something?
Your tactics are useless. I'm not Bulyanov, Ironov, or Kopalsky.
Oh, NINOTCHKA, why must we talk business? If you win the suit, fine. If we win the suit, better. You do me an injustice. NINOTCHKA, when we first went to my apartment, did I have the slightest idea that you were connected with this deal?
You know now. And I know now that you're a man who employs business methods, which in Russia will be punished by death.
Oh, death, always so glum. What about life, NINOTCHKA? Do Russians never think about life? Of the moment in which we're living? The only moment we ever really have. Oh, NINOTCHKA, don't take things so seriously. Nothing's worth it, really. Please, relax. I beg you, Sergeant. Smile.
What?
Will you smile?
Why?
Well, just smile.
At what?
At anything. At the whole ridiculous spectacle of life, at people being so serious, taking themselves pompously, exaggerating their own importance. If you can't think of anything else to laugh at, you can laugh at you and me.
Why?
Because we're an odd couple.
Then you should go back to your table.
No, I can't leave you. I won't, not yet, not until I've made you laugh at least once.
Ha ha. Now go back to your table.
Oh, that's not a laugh. I mean a laugh from the heart. I know. I'm going to tell you a funny story. Now, wait a minute, let me think of one. I've got it. Well, it seems that there were two Frenchmen who went to America.
On which boat?
On which? Oh, let's drop it. I don't think you'd care very much for that one anyway.
Probably not.
Here's a great one. Maybe it's not so good. Let's forget it. You like Scotch stories?
Never heard one.
Well, here. Two Scotchmen met on the street. And I don't know the name of the street. It doesn't matter anyway. One's name was McGillicuddy. The other one's name was McIntosh. McGillicuddy said to McIntosh, "Hello, Mr. McGillicuddy." McIntosh said to McGillicuddy, "Hello, Mr. McGillicuddy." Then McGillicuddy said to McIntosh, "How's Mrs. McIntosh?" And McIntosh said to McGillicuddy, how's Mrs. McGillicuddy?
I wish they'd never met.
So do I. Well, how's this one? Two men are looking at the moon. One of them says to the other, is it true that a lot of people live on the moon? The other one says, sure, it's true, about 500 million. Then the first one says, they must be pretty crowded when it's half moon. So you don't think that's funny?
No.
It seemed funny to me when I first heard it. Maybe the trouble isn't with the joke. Maybe it's with you.
I don't think so.
I'll give you one more chance. Here goes. When I first heard this joke, I laughed myself sick. Here goes. A man comes into a restaurant. He sits down at the table and he says, waiter, bring me a cup of coffee without cream. 5 minutes later, the waiter comes back and says, I'm sorry, sir, we have no cream. Can it be without milk? Not funny, huh?
No.
Well, it is funny. Everybody else thought it was funny. Maybe you didn't get the point. I'll tell it to you again. A man comes into a restaurant. Did you get that?
Yes.
All right. He sits down at the table and he says to the waiter, did you get that?
Yes.
All right. It isn't funny so far, but wait a minute. He says to the waiter, waiter, bring me a cup of coffee. And 5 minutes later, the waiter comes back and says, I'm sorry, sir, we're all out of coffee. Oh, no, you've got me all mixed up now. Sits down at the table and says, waiter, bring me a cup of coffee. And 5 minutes later, that's it. He says, waiter, bring me a cup of coffee without cream. And 5 minutes later, the waiter comes back and says, I'm sorry, sir, we have no cream. Can it be a glass of milk? Oh, you have no sense of humor. None whatsoever. Not a grain of humor in you. There's not a laugh in you. Everybody else laughs at it, but not you. What's so funny about this?
In addition to the arguments above enumerated for lifting this injunction, we wish to cite the decision of the High Court of Paris rendered in the case of Princess Marischka against the government of Montenegro on the 5th day of August 1897. Comparing the facts in that case with our present set of facts, we feel that the treaty between the Republic of France and the USSR should...
I'm sorry, gentlemen. The other day I heard such a funny story. Still makes me laugh. It's very funny. Oh, yes, about this injunction.
The hearing is set for the 20th of this month.
That's 2 weeks from Thursday.
We did our utmost to have it set ahead.
I know, gentlemen. It's in the hands of the court. We're helpless, aren't we?
Yes, it is unfortunate.
There's nothing we can do. Why get excited?
We'll leave these papers with you for your further consideration. Au revoir, madame.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Well, that means another 2 weeks in Paris.
Too bad we have to waste all that time.
I acted on your suggestion and got in touch with the power and light authorities. Whenever you want to visit their plants, they are open to you.
Oh, yes. Power and light, yes, thank you.
There's something else which I know will appeal to you. A visit to the Paris sewers. They tell me it's extremely instructive.
Huh? Why don't you get a haircut, Bulyanov? You all look so wintry, comrades. And why do we always keep the windows closed? Isn't that amazing? At home, there is still snow and ice, and here, look at the birds. I always felt a little hurt when our swallows deserted us in the winter for capitalistic countries. Now I know why. We have the high ideal, but they have the climate. Well, comrades, I don't think I need you anymore.
If there's anything we can do for you...
No, not a thing. Would you like to go out?
Yeah?
Have you any money? Here are 50 francs.
Thank you.
Bring me back 45.
Yes, of course. Goodbye, comrade.
Have you the time, Gaston?
It's 8:42, sir.
I guess it must be 8:42.
You seem to be a bit nervous, sir.
I am, Gaston.
If you'll forgive me, sir, ever since you met that Bolshevik lady, I've noticed a distinct change in you, sir.
Have you, Gaston?
Decidedly. Yesterday, I was greatly amazed when I came from the market and found you had made your bed, sir.
Yes, and I felt better for it all day long. I felt as if I'd contributed something.
May I add, sir, it was with great amazement that I found a copy of Karl Marx's Capital on your night table, sir. That is a socialistic volume which I refuse to so much as dust, sir. I view with alarm the influence of you of this Bolshevik lady.
But I don't follow you, Gaston. Isn't it about time that you realize the unfairness of your position? You're being my servant. Wouldn't you like to stand on an equal footing with me?
No, sir.
Oh, good heavens, isn't there any revolt in you? Sometimes when I order you around, don't you feel like kicking me in the pants?
No, sir.
Ah, you're a reactionary. You can't tell me that you don't look forward to the day when you can come in here, stand square on your 2 feet and say, hey, you Dalgo, from now on it's share and share alike.
Emphatically not, sir. The prospect terrifies me. Don't misunderstand me, sir. I don't resent your not paying me for the past 2 months. But the thought that I should split my bank account with you, that you should take half of my life savings, that is really too much for me, sir.
Go to bed, little father. Go to bed.
I don't look too foolish.
Foolish. If this dress were walking down the boulevard all by itself, I'd follow it from one end of Paris to the other. And when I caught up with it, I'd say, wait a moment, you charming little dress. I want you to meet NINOTCHKA. You two are meant for each other. Remember this room?
I've never been here before. I wonder whom you're thinking of. Oh, I know, the girl with the map.
Always figuring out each step and worrying about north and south. Today, now this might shock you. I walked up to a taxi. I said 88 Rue du Bois, and here I am.
You see? Life can be so simple.
For 12 francs 75.
$12.75 from the Clarence? Son of a gun made a detour. But he got you here.
It's 9 o'clock.
That's when one half of Paris says to the other half, what are your plans for this evening, madame?
First, I would like to take off my hat. Then, could we have some music?
A wonderful idea. Radio or records?
Not radio. Let's have music that's just for ourselves.
I'll play it very softly, because I have things to tell you about which I can't shout. Darling, You see, I couldn't shout that.
Oh, Leon. Leon, you know the jokes you told me a few days ago? I wake up in the middle of the night and laugh at them. You know that's wrong. They aren't funny. They're silly. They're stupid. And still I laugh at them. And when I look at Bulyanov and Ironov and Kopalski, I know they're scoundrels and I should hate them. Then I realize who made them like that. And instead of sending my report to Moscow, I go down and buy a ridiculous hat. And if this keeps on, am I too talkative?
No, go on.
Leon, I want to tell you something which I thought I would never say, which I thought nobody ever should say, because I didn't think it exists. And Leon, I can't say it.
What a gesture for a sergeant.
Leon, may I ask you something?
Anything.
If you don't want to answer, you needn't. But if you do, you must tell the truth.
I promise.
Did you make any change in this room?
I don't think so.
When I was here before, I noticed a photograph of a woman on the desk in a wide silver frame. I thought, what a waste of silver. That's all I was interested in then. Now I would like to know what happened to the woman.
The Grand Duchess? She's very attractive. She has great elegance. She's what you call a woman of the world, isn't she?
NINOTCHKA, I love you.
I suppose she's very entertaining. Must be lots of fun to be with a woman like that, so witty and...
NINOTCHKA, you're jealous.
Mm-hmm. Leon, don't ever ask me for a picture of myself. I couldn't bear the thought of being shut up in a drawer. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stand it.
Oh, darling.
Café de Lutèce. A table for tonight? Certainly, Count Algou. What time, may I ask? After the opera. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Your Highness.
Good evening, Louis. You seem to be very crowded this evening. Can you manage a table near the floor?
Certainly, Your Highness. This way, please. Count d'Algo made the reservation this afternoon.
Count d'Algo?
Yes, it is only a small table, but we will put in some extra chairs.
Oh, no. That's another party. Why don't we go to some other place? It's so crowded here. No. This is glory. At last, I'm going to have a look at that female Bolshevik. Can you manage another table?
Only one in the rear, I'm afraid.
That's perfect.
You mean Leon's bringing the Bolshevik you told us about?
Isn't it divine? I wouldn't have missed this for anything in the world. Now, we must be very discreet. If she sucks her soup or drinks out of a finger bowl, I don't want her to laugh. We mustn't embarrass poor little Leon, who's gone through enough for myself. We mustn't add insult to injury.
Is this satisfactory, Your Highness? Is it to be dinner, Your Excellency?
Or later, perhaps. We'll just start with champagne.
Du champagne.
I'm only afraid the doorman may spoil all our fun. If only he lets her in.
Look, there's Leon.
Where?
Good evening, Count Alcool.
Good evening.
If you please.
General, shall we dance?
Is it dry?
Yes, monsieur.
Is that right, or do you prefer it sweet?
Oh, I wouldn't know. The closest I ever came to champagne was in a newsreel. The wife of some president was throwing it at the battleship.
It's always good luck to launch something with champagne. A battleship or an evening.
It's funny to look back. I was brought up on goat's milk, had a ration of vodka in the army, and now champagne.
From goats to grapes. That's drinking in the right direction.
It's good.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've read, I thought champagne was a strong drink, but it's delicate. Does anyone ever get drunk on this?
Well, there have been cases. But the headache the next morning's worthwhile if you drink it with the right toast. To us, NINOTCHKA.
Thank you, General. Hello, Leon. How are you, my dear?
Hello, Swanner. Good evening, General. How do you do?
Oh, you're looking magnificent tonight, isn't he, General?
Yes, thank you.
Is this your new dress suit?
Yes, Swanner.
Didn't I tell you Benson & Benson were the tailors for you?
Yes, Swanner, you did.
Dream of beauty. He never takes my word for anything, but I was right, wasn't I?
Yes, Swanner.
Oh, am I interrupting?
No, not at all. Your Highness, may I present Comrade Yakushova,
How do you do?
How do you do?
General Savitsky. How do you do?
How do you do?
Oh, I have some wonderful news for you, Leon. It's about Punchy. Do you mind if I sit down?
No, please.
General, would you mind making my excuses at our table?
Certainly.
You say I'll be back in a few moments. There, Leon, we can be proud of our Punchy. He had a triumph at the dog show. He won another blue ribbon and bit the judge. I bought him the loveliest little sweater as a reward. You should see him strutting down the street in it. He looks like a little boulevardier. You see, Count Dalgo gave me Punchy for my birthday. You must have searched for weeks before you found anything as divine as Punchy, didn't you, Leon?
Months, Swanner.
Oh, poor Madame Yakushova. Here we are talking in mysteries. I'm sure you wonder what it's all about.
Not at all. I understand perfectly. Count Dalgo gave you a dog. You made it very clear, madame.
Oh, dear me. I must be losing my finesse. If I'm not careful, I'll be understood by everybody.
A charming crowd here tonight, isn't it?
Well, I'm going, Leon. But before I go, I must compliment you on your gown, Madame Yakushova. Is that what they're wearing in Moscow this year?
No, last year, madame.
Isn't it amazing? One gets the wrong impression of the new Russia. It must be charming. I'm delighted conditions have improved so. I assume this is what the factory workers wear at their dances?
Exactly. You see, it would have been very embarrassing for people of my sort to wear low-cut gowns in the old Russia. The lashes of the Cossacks across our backs were not very becoming. And you know how vain women are.
Yes, you're quite right about the Cossacks. We made a great mistake when we let them use their whips. They had such reliable guns.
Will you do me a favor? Let's not talk about the good old days.
Yes, it's a very wise suggestion, Leon. I'm afraid Madame and I will never agree. The only thing we have in common is our lawsuit, and that will be settled next week. I understand everything will be over by Thursday. Am I right?
Yes, you're right, madame. It'll all be over by Thursday.
It's too bad you have so few more days here in Paris. Now, Leon, be sure and redouble your efforts so that Madame can take some pleasant memories when she returns to Moscow. Good night. Good night, Leon.
Good night, Swanner.
Now I think I need a glass of champagne. Quickly, please tell me one of your funny stories.
A funny story?
Mm-hmm. You've never finished the one about the two Scotchmen with the names.
Oh.
Please.
Well, there were two Scotchmen.
Mm-hmm.
One's name was McIntosh, and the other was McGillicuddy.
Mm-hmm.
They met on the street.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'll tell you another story. A much better one. The only thing that'll be over on Thursday will be the lawsuit. There'll be no Thursday for us. Next week or any other week. I won't let it happen. I'll tear it out of the calendar. Isn't that a good story?
Wonderful. If one could believe it.
You must, darling.
The loveliest story I ever heard. Let's dance. Leon, something is the matter.
You just made that trip from goats to grapes a little too quickly.
Everything is so wonderful. It's getting farther, farther away.
What, darling?
Thursday.
Yes, don't worry. Everything's going to be all right.
Comrades, comrades.
Darling, please.
I want to talk to my brother. Don't shush me, please. I am the people. I want to hold a speech. I want to overthrow the Grand Duchess.
NINOTCHKA, you can't do that.
Oh, comrades, the good people of France.
Now, NINOTCHKA.
Oh, but they're all Grand Duchesses here. I wanted their thousands of Grand Duchesses, and I want to tell them.
Yes, dear, you're quite right.
Yes,
But first of all, you're going through that door, you're going to lie down and take some spirits of ammonia.
Oh, no speech?
No speech.
Oh, I love you, my little NINOTCHKA.
And I adore you, NINOTCHKA. Go ahead now.
No speech?
No, for heaven's sake, no speech. Give me a double brandy. Yes.
I'm very sorry, Count Algu. It is most embarrassing. But the lady you brought with you tonight is spreading communistic propaganda in the powder room.
What? Give me another double brandy.
That kind of propaganda is bad anywhere, but inciting the attendants of a powder room to go on strike. Well, if she succeeds, the consequences will be disastrous.
Oh, what can I do about it?
She has been asked to leave the powder room, but without success. We would appreciate it very much if you would see to it yourself.
You want me to go in there?
I'm sorry, sir, but I must insist.
Making a triple brandy. Yes, sir. All right, tell the Grand Duchess. Tell everybody. They know it anywhere. Doesn't make any difference. Go on, get up. Get up. Get up.
Don't tell them where we're going.
No, darling. Nobody will find us.
Are we going to build our little house?
Yes, a little white house.
No, not white.
All right, we'll make it red.
No, let's not have any color. No color. Just a house. Let's form our own party.
Right. Lovers of the world unite.
And we won't stretch up our arms.
No, no, no.
We won't clench our fists.
No.
Our salute will be a kiss.
Yes. A kiss. Salute.
I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy. No one can be so happy without being punished. I will be punished, and I should be punished. Leon, I want to confess.
I know. It's the Russian soul.
Well, everyone wants to confess, and if they don't confess, they make them confess. I am a traitor. When I kissed you, I betrayed a Russian ideal. I should be stood up against the wall.
Will that make you any happier?
Much happier.
All right.
I've paid the penalty. Now let's have some music.
Let's turn it on the radio.
Radio? What's radio?
Radio's a little box that you buy in the installment plan. Before you tune it in, they tell you there's a new model out.
Oh, yes. I know what that is. There's one around here somewhere. It has a little knob that you turn.
A little knob, that's right.
Yeah, maybe it's in here.
There's a little knob.
Yes, it has a knob now. Maybe it's in here. Let's see. There it is. There's the knob.
There's a knob. Now, what should we get? The news?
No news. We don't want to know what's happening in the world. We want to be left alone, don't we?
Yes, darling, all by ourselves.
Then turn to the left and stop at 7.
Turn to the left and stop at 7.
No music.
No music.
There it is. Thursday. You can't rip it out of the week. There they are. They're terrible things, those jewels.
Oh, but big.
They are the tears of old Russia. See that stone?
Who cried that one?
Tsar Peter gave it to his wife, Catherine the Great. For it he sold 10,000 serfs in the market.
Oh, but darling, don't get impatient. Wait till we're married. You know that worthless butler of mine? That reactionary? Someday I'll come home to you and I'll say, darling, I drove Gaston on the market this morning and, ooh, look what I got for him. Darling, come here. Let me put this on you.
No.
Yes.
No.
You will teach these jewels. For the first time, they will learn how they can really look.
They belong to the people.
And I give them back to the people. I make you NINOTCHKA the Great, Duchess of the people. Grand Duchess of the people.
Is this the wish of the masses?
It is their wish.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you, masses. Can I make a speech now?
Please.
Comrades, people of the world, the revolution is on the march. I know bombs will fall, civilization will crumble, but not yet, please. Wait, what's the hurry? Give us our moment. Let's be happy. We're happy, aren't we, Leon?
Yes, darling.
So happy and so tired. Oh.
Father. Smile.
Mm.
Come in.
Good morning. It's tomorrow morning. Tomorrow noon, to be exact. I hope you will forgive me. I know it's extremely cruel to awaken anyone at such an hour. Don't you recognize me? I'm the Grand Duchess Swana. Yes, I know exactly how you feel, my dear. The morning after always does look grim if you happen to be wearing last night's dress. Don't be embarrassed by my presence, though. You couldn't have found anyone more sympathetic to your condition.
I think we can cut your visit short. Leon is not here.
Of course not, my dear. I didn't come here with any such suspicion. How ridiculous. Nor did I come here to pick up his hat.
What is it you people always say, regardless of what you mean? I'm delighted to have you here. I haven't reached that stage of civilization. Therefore, I must ask you to leave.
Leave? That's exactly what I came here to ask you to do. Leave. I don't mean this hotel, and I don't mean Paris. I mean France. There's a plane for Moscow at 5:40.
Do you still think you're issuing orders from your palace in Petrograd?
My palace in Petrograd. Yes, you took that away from me. You took away my Tsar, my country, my people. Everything I had. But nothing more.
People cannot be taken away, madame. Neither 160 million, nor one. Not if you have their love. You hadn't. That's why you're not in Russia any longer. And that's why you came here this morning. Problems were never solved by bowing from a balcony.
Oh, my dear, you don't know how impressive I could be. Did you ever see me in my regalia with my diadem and all my jewels?
Elysee 2763.
Believe me, Leon can't help you. He doesn't know anything about the jewels. I give him my word. I swear it.
Where are they?
You were very careless with our precious jewels, my dear. They're too expensive a toy for 2 children to play with.
Where are they?
Don't worry. Fortunately, last night, a very trustworthy friend kept his eyes open. He may have overstepped his function as a waiter, but he fulfilled his duty as a Russian. I just put this on for sentiment. The rest are absolutely safe, I assure you. But if you feel like notifying the police...
You leave me no choice.
Won't it be rather embarrassing for a Soviet envoy to disclose the circumstances under which she lost them?
I'll have to face the consequences, but so will you. Don't forget they'll ask you how you got them.
That's very simple to answer. They were given to me by my mother. They were given to her by her mother. In fact, they're mine. You can't steal what belongs to you.
They always belong to the Russian people. They paid for them with their blood, their lives, and you'll give them back.
I told you we had plenty to talk about. Shall we sit down? Now let's free ourselves from emotionalism and try to solve the problem in a practical way. Our situation has considerably changed. Before, I had only a claim to the jewels. Now I have the jewels.
In other words, moral ideas have no weight with you. All right, then let's deal with legal facts. You know that France has recognized the Soviet.
Unfortunately.
Under the Soviet law, the jewels belong to the state. France is going to uphold that ownership.
Yes, my lawyer agrees with you. He says that France will uphold it in every court, but I will drag you through every court. Don't forget that. And when I say it will take 2 years, I am, as always, conservative.
Won't those 2 years in court be expensive for you? I know that money was no object as long as you could squeeze it out of the pockets of the people. But now?
I may run out of money, but you have already run out of bread. 2 years is a long time for your comrades to wait.
I see. You've calculated it in terms of hunger.
No, I just wanted to be absolutely impartial. Both of us are faced with 2 rather uncomfortable years. We can condense those 2 years to 2 minutes, if you want to accept my proposition.
Go on.
I am willing to hand over the jewels and sign any necessary papers if you will take that 5:40 plane to Moscow.
That's not the way to win him back. Not Leon.
I think I know Leon quite as well as you. Perhaps a little better. Leave that worry to me. Now, 5:40 leaves you time enough to close the deal with Monsieur Mercier. But naturally, you'll be too busy for any farewells. I will see to it that everything is done in the most expeditious manner. And I will also see you to the airport. That's my proposition, Comrade Yakashova.
Yes? Oh, hello. Yes, Leon? No, you didn't waken me. I'm fine, thank you. Yes, oh yes, it was wonderful. For luncheon? I'm afraid I can't. I have lots of things to attend to today, Leon. I'm going to be very busy. To tell you the truth, I'm a little tired and I would like to rest. Maybe you're right. Perhaps it is the champagne. For dinner? Of course. 7 o'clock here. 7 o'clock would be all right. Come in? Yes. Just a moment. You can leave it here.
Yes, madame.
Operator, will you switch the call, please? Darling, your present just arrived. It's very silly and very wonderful. What? I won't forget. 7 o'clock. Goodbye, darling. What? Oh. Salute.
Good afternoon, Jacqueline.
Good afternoon, Your Highness. Madam,
Yes, I know. You didn't find my other glove. Well, it's all right. You're forgiven.
Thank you, Your Highness. Count Delgoux is waiting. He's been here some time.
Oh, Count Delgoux. Yes. Oh, Leon, darling, how nice. Have you ordered tea or cocktail?
No, thanks, Swanna.
Did I act stupidly last night? Should I apologize?
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I should have talked to you before.
Is this by any chance going to be a confession?
Yes.
Oh, no, my little vulgar boatman. Have you forgotten our first commandment? Never complain, never explain. Now, it's worked so often and so perfectly in the past. Let's not break the rule. And please don't look so guilty, otherwise...
Swanna, just this once. I must ask you to listen to me.
All right. I'm listening.
I know you hate the obvious. Would you mind if, for the moment, I'm not the least subtle?
Brutal frankness, if you insist.
There are 100 ways of approaching it. But I feel it can best be said in one simple phrase. I'm in love, Swanna.
Oh, I thought it was something serious. Oh, how could you frighten me so?
It must be serious. Not so long ago, I'd have considered such a statement juvenile and rather middle class. Now I can say it without a stammer, without a blush. I'm in love, out, Swanner.
But, Leon, this has the ugly sound of regeneration.
I'm afraid that's what it is, Swanner.
Always late. Same old trouble, Leon. Whether you're taking me to the opera or calling for me at a beauty shop, you're never on time. And now when it's a question of your reform, late again. By about 5 minutes.
What is this, Swanner?
Well, knowing the efficiency of the French air service, I think I can safely guarantee that Madame Yakashova has already taken off for Moscow.
Has done what?
She's gone, Leon.
You don't expect me to believe that.
There's the telephone. If you call the hotel, you'll find you have no 7 o'clock appointment.
Imagine, for once in our lives, we were in Paris, and we never went to the Eiffel Tower.
That's right.
They tell me it has a wonderful restaurant on the 2nd floor.
Yes, it is an amazing piece of engineering. Still the most remarkable iron structure in the world. Leading to the top, there is a staircase of over 1,000 steps. But there is an elevator included in the price of admission.
Well, everything is in order. I hope you will enjoy your trip to Russia, madame.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, I've heard so many rumors about laundry conditions in Russia. Is it advisable to take one's own towels?
Certainly not, madame. That is only capitalistic propaganda. We change the towel every week.
Oh, thank you.
Hello? Comrade Katsabin? No, I am sorry. He hasn't been with us for 6 months. He was called back to Russia and was investigated. You can get further details from his widow. You're very welcome, very welcome.
Pardon me, I was interested in what you were just saying. You mean when an envoy goes back to Russia and they don't like what he's done, they put him out of the way?
Not always. Look at me. I've been back twice.
Here's my passport. Please give me a visa. I must leave for Russia immediately.
Count Leon Dalgu. A count, a nobleman.
Oh, don't hold that against me, please.
Why should an aristocrat want to go to Russia?
Business.
What business?
Private.
There is no private business in Russia. This whole thing seems very suspicious. What is the real reason? If you ever want to get into Russia, take my advice. Confess.
Listen, I'll be absolutely frank with you. I have no business in Moscow.
I think so, too.
I want to see a friend of mine, a very dear friend. It's a personal matter that has no relation to social philosophies or politics. It's a girl.
So it is love which drags you to Moscow?
Yes.
No visa?
But I must get into that country of yours.
Oh, no, no visa.
But that's impossible. You can't do it. You haven't the right to... Listen, if you don't give me that visa...
You're going to force us, huh?
Look here, you advertise all over the world for people to go into your country, and then when somebody tries to get in, you won't let them.
Why should I take a chance?
On what?
How do I know you don't want to blow up a factory?
What for? Why?
Or a tunnel, or a bridge.
Oh, suspicions. Nothing but suspicions. That's the trouble with you. Listen, if you don't let me in, I'll stand in front of this office of yours and warn people to keep away from Russia. I'll picket your whole country. I'll boycott you, that's what I'll do. No more vodka, no more caviar, no more Tchaikovsky, no more borscht. No, wait a minute, I've got a better idea than that.
What?
And you can tell the Kremlin that's just the beginning.
No visa.
Art! Capital of the world! Never has there been such a May Day parade as this.
Good afternoon, Anna.
Good afternoon, NINOTCHKA.
Aren't you late?
No, the opera starts an hour later tonight on account of the parade.
Didn't you march today?
They didn't let me. I'm in disgrace. Last week at the performance of Carmen, I played a sour note. The conductor got so excited, he yelled, "There is sabotage in the string section."
Too bad, Anna. You missed an inspiring day.
Yes, I know. Are you expecting someone?
Few friends. Just a small dinner party.
What are you serving?
An omelette.
An omelette? Aren't you living a little above your ration?
I saved 2 eggs. And each of my friends is bringing his own. We'll manage.
Just goes to prove the theory of our state. If you stand alone, it means a boiled egg. But if you're true to the collective spirit and stick together, you've got an omelet. That reminds me, have you heard the latest they're telling about the Kremlin? Well, 1 minute. I'll tell you later. That Gurganov. You never know whether he is on his way to the washroom or the secret police.
You should be more careful, Anna.
And you too, Ninotchka.
About what?
Oh, ever since you have been back from Paris,
I haven't talked to anyone about Paris. I haven't said a word.
That's just it. It makes people feel queer. And I don't want you to get in any trouble.
I have nothing to hide.
You should. I'll show you. When I passed through the laundry yard today, I saw all the women huddled around this. So I brought it up here. Things like this create a bad feeling. First, they didn't know whose it was, and then they saw the Paris label, and did it start a commotion. Some said it's what we all ought to wear. Others said it's like hanging foreign ideas on our clothesline. It undermines our whole cause.
I see.
You know how it is today. All you have to do is wear a pair of silk stockings, and they suspect you of counter-revolution.
Thank you, Anna. I'll dry it up here when I wash it next. I should hate to see our country endangered by my underwear.
Ninotchka, I'm your friend. You can trust me. Did you bring back anything else?
No. I left everything in Paris. I just happen to be wearing this.
Tell me, what else did you have?
Well, a hat.
What was it like?
Oh, it was very silly. I'd be ashamed to wear it here.
As beautiful as that. What else? Come tell me.
An evening gown.
An evening gown?
Yes, it's a dress you wear in the evening.
What do you wear in the morning?
When you get up, you wear a negligee. Then you change into a morning frock.
You mean to tell me you wear a different dress for different times of the day?
Yes.
Now, Ninotchka, you are exaggerating.
No, it's true. That's how they live in the other world. Here we're dressed to cover up our bodies, to keep warm.
And there?
Sometimes they're not completely covered, but they don't freeze.
Oh, they must have wonderful materials to make a thing like this. So soft. Something you don't even see.
You feel it, though.
Ninotchka, I wouldn't bring this up if we weren't such good friends.
What is it, Anna?
You know, I told you that Pavlov and I are going to get married when he comes back from the maneuvers. Would it be asking too much if...
You want this?
Just for the honeymoon.
It's yours for good.
Ninotchka, Ninotchka. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll never, never forget it, you darling. Am I going to play that cadenza tonight?
Individuals? Yes. As atoms in the cosmos of Soviet Russia. And 13 million peasants. 85% of the population.
Into an automobile and the muzhik into a tractor. And then let the capitalist try to keep...
No music.
Ninotchka!
How are you, three scoundrels?
Well, we are back home.
You know what they say? There's nothing like home.
Yes, and we might as well face it.
No, you mustn't talk that way. You must adjust yourselves.
Let's be brave.
Brave, that's right.
Let's be happy that we are all alive.
Well, that's something we owe to NINOTCHKA. If you hadn't given Commissar Razinin such a wonderful report about us, who knows what would have happened.
I can tell you exactly.
Comrades, let's forget everything except we're together.
Yes, let's do that.
It's a real Paris reunion.
And if you close your eyes and listen to our voices, we might be in Paris.
Let's not close our eyes.
There are many good things to see here, too.
Look how nicely she's arranged the
Yes,
table.
what a wonderful room you have here. How many families live here with you?
Only myself and two other girls. One is a cello player in the opera, and the other is a streetcar conductor.
Just 3 people in a room this size? Ooh.
Have you ever seen?
Look at this. What good material.
Naturally, it's not the royal suite.
Comrades, once and for all, we are in Moscow.
Yes, there's no doubt of that. Just look out of the window and there it is.
And it's great. Think what it was a few years ago and what it is now. It's a tremendous achievement. You must be reasonable, comrade.
She is right. Anyhow, let's talk ourselves into it.
All right. It's great. It's marvelous. It's wonderful. Just see how happy the people look from here.
Can you blame them? At least the May Day parade is over.
That's another thing. It's spring.
The same spring we had in Paris. Just as good.
Even the swallows are back.
Really? Yes, that's right. Maybe it's the same swallow we saw in Paris.
Yes, it is, NINOTCHKA. It is. He must have been in Paris. You can see it in his whole attitude. He just picked up a crumb of our black bread, shook his head and dropped it.
We must be patient. Finally, we got the spring, didn't we?
Oh, let's forget the future. Let's stop being sentimental. Let's start that omelette.
That's right. Here is my egg.
And here is mine.
And here are mine.
I don't know. Where's my egg? I had an egg, too. Comrades, I'm out of the omelette.
Don't worry, that'll be enough.
Of course, come on.
Thank
Come over here. We have it. Come, NINOTCHKA, let's make it in real Parisian style.
Let's do it. Confiture de Prune.
Yeah.
A man like that, all he has to do is walk through a room and the omelette drops.
Yes.
Paris, I still adore you.
Adore you.
Paris, I'm longing for you.
For you, Paris.
Oh, no, I left my heart with you. Oh, no.
Comrade Yakoshuva, here the postman left this letter for you.
Thank you, Vladimir. Thank you.
What is it, NINOTCHKA?
NINOTCHKA, what is it?
From Paris.
From Paris?
A deal?
From Lyon.
Lyon? Oh, tell us.
That's the one. Quick. Okay, that's the one I have. Number.
Bad news?
Big enough.
Well, I think it's getting late.
Good night, NINOTCHKA. Thanks for a wonderful dinner.
Good night, NINOTCHKA.
Good night. They can't censor our memories, can they?
No.
morning, Comrade.
Good morning, Comrade Commissar. Here's my report on the materials available for trading in the next 4 months.
Does it include the products of the Far Eastern provinces?
Yes, it does.
You mean you have finished the whole investigation?
Yes.
That's marvelous. You must have worked day and night. Don't you have to sleep?
I need very little sleep. We must be extremely careful what goods we take in exchange. I have already started a survey on our most urgent needs.
Well, Comrade, I'm afraid you have to turn over that work to someone else.
May I ask why?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Now, Comrade, have you heard from your friends Kopalsky, Bulyanov, and Ironov?
No.
I haven't either, but I've heard about them. You must realize it was only on the strength of your Paris report that I sent them to Constantinople. Without that, I never would have trusted them on a mission as important as the fur deal.
Oh.
May I ask what has happened?
If I told you what's going on in Constantinople right now, you wouldn't believe it. They are sitting there, those 3 for 6 weeks, and haven't sold a piece of fur. This anonymous report was sent me. They're dragging the good name of our country through every cafe and nightclub. Here. How can the Bolshevik cause gain respect among the Muslims if your 3 representatives, Bulyanov, Ironov, and Kopalsky, get so drunk that they throw a carpet out of their hotel window and complain to the management that it didn't fly? Unbelievable. It's an outrage.
They shouldn't do such things. Are you sure this report's correct?
Naturally, I want to verify it, and that's why I need you.
You want me to go to Constantinople?
Yes, leaving immediately.
I appreciate your confidence in me, but I must ask you to entrust someone else with this mission. I should hate to interrupt my present work. I'm positive my survey is more important than finding out whether 3 of our comrades have been drinking some extra glasses of champagne.
That is for me to decide, Comrade Yakushova.
I'm sorry. I don't want to overstep my position, but please don't send me. Please, comrade, let me stay here. Let me finish my work. I'm in the Rue de Mont now. I don't want to go away. I don't want to be sent into that foreign atmosphere again. Throws you out of gear. Let me finish my work. I've concentrated everything in it. Please, don't make me go.
Don't waste my time, comrade. Do your duty. Goodbye.
I shall do my best.
How do you like it, NINOTCHKA? Isn't it wonderful?
Tell us.
Bolyanov, Ironov, Kopalsky.
Oh, please, NINOTCHKA, don't start figuring it out in cows.
You've done it again, and I'm responsible. How can you forget yourself this way? You were sent here to make money, not to spend it.
Bulyanov, she still has those old-fashioned ideas. High time she got out of Russia.
Comrades, I must be stern with you.
That's our old NINOTCHKA.
Don't forget that they will come and you will have to face Razinin.
Good old Razinin. Is he still alive? How does he manage?
Comrades.
Friends, NINOTCHKA. We are friends.
Imagine we don't have to whisper anymore.
No, we can say whatever we want. We can shout. We can complain. Look. The service in this hotel is terrible. See? Nobody comes. Nobody pays any attention. That's freedom.
That's bad management.
Is it possible to bring you back to reality for one moment? I must have a complete report of your negotiations and a detailed expense account.
No, NINOTCHKA, don't ask for it. There's an old Turkish proverb that says, if something smells bad, why put your nose in it?
And there is an old Russian saying, the cat who has cream in his whiskers had better find good excuses.
With our cream situation as it is, it's Russia that should apologize to the cat.
Well, I don't know how I can get you out of it this time. How will it end?
Shall we tell her?
Yes?
NINOTCHKA, I hope you'll be our guest.
Guest?
Yes. We have opened a restaurant.
A restaurant?
We have a wonderful electric sign. Dine with Bulyanov, Ironov, and Kopalsky.
You mean you're deserting Russia?
Oh, NINOTCHKA, don't call it desertion. Our little restaurant, that is our Russia. The Russia of borscht, the Russia of beef stroganoff, of blinis and sour cream.
The Russia of piroshki. People will eat and love it. And we are not only serving good food, we are serving our country. We are making friends.
Who gave you this idea? What's responsible for all this?
There is something in Constantinople, something irresistible.
It's in the air. It may come around the corner when you walk down the street. It may step out of a bazaar. It may be waiting for you in a corridor. It may hide in the shadow of a minaret. And right now it's on the balcony.
They wouldn't let me in, so I had to get you out.
Leon.
NINOTCHKA.
So you're behind all this. I should have known.
Trying to keep me away from you. As though that were possible. Naturally, I couldn't go on forever punching passport officials in the nose. But I found a way, didn't I? Oh, darling, I had to see you. I wrote and wrote, and all my letters came back to me.
And the one I got, they wouldn't let me read. It began, NINOTCHKA, my darling, and it ended, yours, Leon.
I won't tell you what came between. I'll show you. I'll prove it. But it'll take a long time, NINOTCHKA. At least a lifetime.
Oh, but Leon, I'm only here for a few days.
All right. If you don't stay with me, then I'll have to continue my fight. I'll travel wherever there are Russian commissions. I'll turn them all into Aronovs, Bulyanovs, and Kopalskis. The world will be crowded with Russian restaurants. I'll depopulate Russia. Comrade, once you saved your country by going back, this time you can only save it by staying here.
Well, if it's a choice between my personal interest and the good of my country, how can I waver? No one shall say NINOTCHKA was a bad Russian.
Darling.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed NINOTCHKA with a huge cast of great actors, including the immortal Bela Lugosi. This is just one of many of the films we'll be screening this weekend during our Bela Lugosi Tribute Weekend, that's sponsored by Something Wicked Entertainment and Events. What can I say? This is one of those films in which, Bela Lugosi has a smaller role in it, but still, it's always good to see some of the roles that have made or have been part of a particular person's filmography, and this being a drama, which is different than all the horror films that he was most associated with. So I hope that you've enjoyed this film. I hope that if you loved it, that you will add a physical or a digital copy to your collection. Please make sure to buy it from a reputable source so that you get the best quality possible. As we like to support our filmmakers and artists, and the only way by doing that is by adding certain films to your collection so that you can enjoy them for the future and for future friends and so on and so forth. So thank you for joining us for this screening, and we hope to see you at the next screening. So have a good weekend.